This improv story is based on the idea a man finds a gobstopper. Let the story commence. Craig was walking down the street minding his own business when he saw what looked like a bouncy ball on the pavement. He picked it up and went like, "Hey kid, you dropped your bouncing ball." And then he went to throw it somewhere. There was no wins about. He went to just throw it. Oh well, I'll throw it to bounce it, and it didn't leave his fingers. It was stuck to his fingers. He's like, what kind of bouncy ball is this? It's a gobstopper. Big round, big sweetie thing, you just stick in your fucking mouth and slowly it goes away. He's like, oh fuck, I thought it was a bouncy ball. I'm glad some wee guy didn't come up to me and go, oh, I he's a bouncy ball. Because that would have been, it wouldn't have worked out. Just then, wee guy comes up. Wee boy, wee dad. Wee 5-year-old. Bouncy ball, that's my bouncy ball. I've lost my bouncy ball. And Craig went, oh, sorry, it isn't. It's a gobstopper. And the dad goes like that. Right, come on, that's enough of that. Give him back his bouncy ball. And Craig went, oh, no, I think there's a mix-up here. There's a gobstopper, look. And the loop. And the dad said, I clearly heard you shout bouncy ball. Craig said, I've made a mistake. Just look at it, mate. It isn't. And the guy went, well, on you go, bounce it to let me see that it isn't a bouncy ball. And Craig said, it's sticky. All right, and look, there, right, all right, in. And he managed to throw it, and it just hit the ground. It didn't bounce. And a wee boy said, Dad, he's broke my bouncy ball. And the dad said, you're going to have to, what's going on, mate? Would you mind replacing that? Just gives a few quid just to buy a new one. And Craig said, it's no a bouncy ball. And even if it was, it's no his. The dad said, what you on about? Craig said, well, it isn't. This isn't the bouncy ball. So even if it was, it isn't his. Right? And it just didn't make sense. And the sky, not the sky, but everything in front of him cracked open. Started to crack. And like you could see darkness and stars and things like that crack open. Because it didn't make sense. It was starting to not make sense. And the wee boy went, Father, what's happening? I don't know, son. I don't know. I don't. And Craig said, I think what's happening was just things were starting to not make sense there. And this is all falling apart. We're in the world of Fantasia. Fantasyland. It is said, it is written, that you're in a world of fiction when it starts to fall apart like this, when things don't make sense. And the guy said, well, what do we do? Craig said, we've got to somehow make this make sense again, or we're doomed. And the dad said, well, listen, I'm happy to take your lead on this one if you want to head this one up. And Craig said, aye, right. What happened was when I said that even if that was a bouncy ball, it wouldn't be because it's a gobstopper. That's when I think looking back, it didn't make any sense at all. What I'll do is I'll just write it off as just me misspeaking. I got mixed up. I don't actually mean it. And the guy said, try that. So Craig said, I don't know what I was thinking now. I've not quite woke up, not had my morning coffee. I meant to say, this isn't a bouncy ball because look, it's a gobstopper. And even if it was a bouncy ball, are you sure that it is your one? Is it the same colour? You know, that started to not make sense either, so it tore open even more. And the wee boy said, "Father, I'm scared. Will our world ever be the same again?" And the guy went, "Mate," and grabbed Craig by the shoulders and said, "Mate, I think this is our last chance. Make it make sense." So Craig went like that. "Aye, I've just not woke up yet. I said another daft thing. What I meant to say was it's a gobstopper, it's not a bouncy ball. Here, pick it up if you don't believe me and try bouncing it." And the wee boy picked it up and hit it against the ground, and it did bounce a wee bit. Like even a rock would bounce. And Craig went like, "Oh fuck." And the whole thing just cracked open. And everybody fell into the fucking nothing. And it was like space. It wasn't just like nothing. It was just like space. So we're talking about frozen, like ice, that expanded due to the lack of atmospheric pressure. And then when they went into the sunlight, they couldn't breathe. And then when they went into the sunlight, they hit temperatures of 1,000 million trillion Kelvin. Because we're talking about science here. We're not talking about fucking Celsius and all that. There's no point in temperatures like that. Because that's today we're like fucking freezing point of water, boiling point of water. We're talking universe. Kelvin. And then Craig started to get bloated. He kind of like exploded, froze, and then melted, and then woke up and went, "It's bin day, by the way." And he went like that. It was just a dream. And he stood up and he had a stretch and he looked out the window. And do you know what he could see when he looked out the window? Do you know what he could see? I'll show you. He could see this. He was up there. He was renting a flat up there somewhere. And he looked across. He could see that. Right now, that's irrelevant because it doesn't actually tell you the name of the trains, the station. Well, that's fucking stupid, that. He just had a feeling, right? He's like, wait a minute. What station is that? I mean, for fuck's sake, imagine you don't... Imagine you're not... He thought to himself... He just had a feeling. He looked at the window, he saw that. He thought, what subway station is that? Because he wasn't fae Glasgow. He's like, I don't know what subway station that is. How come you go to London, you go to New York, you go fucking anywhere else, it'll have like, you know, the name of the station. What's this one? Just says subway and that's it. What is it? No, that. That. So he left, went round the back. And then it went to Google Maps actually and saw the what? And saw that and just fuck it. No, he saw that it was Kelvin Hall. It's Kelvin Hall, right? The underground station, the subway station is called Kelvin Hall, right? Kelvin. He went, oh, because of Kelvin, right? He went, oh, and his face looked like that. He went like, bang. The end. I'm sorry if I seem in a bad mood, but this is fucking serious stuff. Because it isn't an improv story, it's a true story. 10 out of 10, glad to... Thanks. It's a true story, every single word, because it's based on a true story. It is a true story in the baby reindeer sense. Joe Citizen, Maya, Igloo, thanks for subs. It's a true story in the baby reindeer sense. And that it's based on a true story. This is a true story. And by that I mean, see Kelvin Hall subway station. That's an actual, real station.